Hi, welcome to the last PTA meeting of the 2021 school year. I'm Vanessa Robertson, your president, and this will be the last time you have to see me. So can we get the minutes from the last meeting? And then also, I believe you have the minutes from March to present.
Yeah, should we do March 1st?
Okay.
It's real quick. Oh, whoops. That's my bad. Okay, so this is the March meeting. There was a equity specialist presentation this month. We've got the link to the YouTube in there. No other big business. Does anyone motion to approve the minutes?
I approve. Can't quite approve them yet since we don't have quorum.
Oh, we can't even do that? Okay.
Should I stop sharing?
Well, Chad, do you want to tell us about what's going on with the track? We can just watch it on YouTube later.
Sure. We are slotted to, it'll be done between June 21st and the 5th of July. They are hoping to be out here closer to the 21st. They said they're expecting it to be three and a half day job.
Oh, nice.
So it's moving forward, and we're going to try to do it in May, and then I don't know. I said, go ahead, come start. And then they said, no, those dates aren't going to work. And so that's where we are now, slated to start work around the 21st and definitely be finished by the 5th of July.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
That is hot off the press as of this afternoon. Outside of that, I mean, we're excited that we're going to have the 5th grade. It's going to be a very different but promotional celebration, I guess is a better way to put it, in the gym. And the 5th grade team has just done a phenomenal job. And I love the terms that they're using. Each family has box seating, and they're creating kind of a box for each family. And we have a bag with all kinds of stuff for each of the kids that'll be in their box. And so we're pretty excited about how that's going to turn out. We went through that yesterday in great detail, and then we're going to do a walkthrough tomorrow with the kids and everything. Let's see, what else do we got cooking here? We have, most of the grade levels. I know a lot of them did their celebrations today because then it was equal for everybody. I also know that there's a few grade levels trying to do some stuff out on the field later this week and get some of the virtual kids to come up, invite them up to the field and, see their friends and sort of play together normally. So, I think everybody's there's been a little bit of uptick, I think, in happiness, just knowing that, they're celebrating now. Everybody's like, we made it through this year. And so, we are collecting as many of the laptops as we can on the 14th, because every single one of them needs to be collected, cleaned, and re-imaged before the fall. There's a number of new push downs that'll have to be loaded on with the start of Schoology and the school system moving to a Zoom platform, BBCU's going away. So the updates are really substantial from the student perspective. So we have to collect all the laptops and go through every single one of those, which will be quite an undertaking because we really have to do it in 2 groups with our summer program, ESY. That'll take some time this summer for sure. We are hosting, I'll let Leslie give kind of a quick update on our summer program. It's called SOAR with our kids as far as numbers and everything. But we have 9 classrooms that'll be with with students of our own. And then we'll be checking, I probably should check tomorrow to see where we are in numbers, but we are also hosting ESY, which is special ed education programming for the summer. And if all the slots were taken, which they normally are, we would be using 22 rooms for that program as well. If that happens, we will literally have 2 open classrooms in the entire building all summer long, up through July. So there's going to be a lot of action going on at school and trying to, schedule cleaning and that piece. We're very thankful actually that cleaning will be a little quicker and that most of the floors, it's just kind of almost just a cleanup versus re-waxing, stripping it down and re-waxing, thank goodness. We still, if you have neighbors that are, I know there's a lot of new houses in the neighborhood that are kind of for sale. There's a bunch that are, say, contract pending, or we are looking for kids still for sure. Some of our numbers and some of our grade levels are pretty low. So if you have new neighbors around you, ask them to please come on up or get in touch with us so we can at least start counting them in the count and getting them that process underway with them, so we don't lose any staffing come August. But outside of that, I think I know Leslie and I are just grateful we made it and everybody was in one piece. And we've actually spent a majority of the last 2 weeks feeling fairly normal and really working on August plans, return to school plans, kickoff, Beaver blast off plans. So that part of it feels really normal, and we're pretty excited about that. So Leslie, do you want to, I know you have some stuff too.
Find the unmute button. You would think I'm new at this. For our summer program, we are at about 108 kids coming to our SOAR program. SAN stands for Summer Olympians Achieving and Reaching, I think. It's a county name because of the Olympics this summer. So we have a Bridge to K, which is our rising kindergartners. We have 12 students. Those were by invite only, mostly students who did not attend preschool. And then we have a Bridge to First, which is 12 students. And then we have 2nd through 5th graders, about, what is that? We have about 90 students in those grade levels. So we're really excited about it. It's all of our staff, all of our students. We're going to try to make it really fun. We really focused on some of our virtual only students. So some of these kids haven't been in school since last March. So it's really about, getting them back in, getting them comfortable, being in a smaller setting. So when they come back to school next year, it's not so overwhelming. So we're really excited about it. We're going to try to do a little fun, abbreviated field day, and it's 4 hours a day, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. So we're very, very pumped to do something exciting over summer. I think that's it. We wrapped up SOL testing last week. So all of our iReady testing is done. You should be getting in report cards the iReady score sheets. Those are all printed parent reports. They've changed them a little bit, so they're far more detailed than they've been in the past. So you'll really kind of get to see a better snapshot of your child's growth over the year. Additionally, in there, we have our Beaver Blast Off, save the date. We are going to be able to do Beaver Blast Off next year. We aren't sure the full details of what it's going to look like, but we are going to have it. So we're really excited. So that save the date will also come home in report cards. And then SOL scores, we are not mailing those home. Those are going to be accessed through Parent View. So the county is really, really pushing that everybody have a Parent View account, because that's really kind of how that's how Naglieri scores were sent out this year. So if you do not have a Parent View account, just make sure you reach out to Donna Cruzy and she can help you get that set up, and please spread that word. We've been putting it in our News You Choose, but that's really, really important. And if you don't have an account or you aren't able to set one up and you want a paper copy of your SOL scores, we will not have them until probably mid to end of July. So if you get the account, you're going to see your scores a lot faster than if you wait. So I think that's it. Like Chad said, we're really excited. We made it. It's been quite a year. We're all still standing and smiling.
Can you guys keep our board in the loop as you plan Beaver Blast Off?
Yes.
And we'll see how we can support you if that's pizza or what, if possible, or whatever.
Yeah, we probably wait till August to get in the weeds of that because you know
Right.
how things change.
Right.
But definitely, we're gonna have it. We just
Yep.
don't know. As soon as we figure out logistics, we definitely will reach out to you guys.
Great. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Now we have 13 people. So if we want to go back to the beginning and start with with Mandy, do you want to share the minutes? And we can go to if she's still here. Did we lose Mandy? Oh, she's here. Okay.
I'm here. I was just on mute. The cicadas back here are like much louder than I realized. These are the March minutes. It was a pretty brief meeting report wise, and then we had the equity specialist meeting. This is the meeting I wasn't there for, and so we haven't approved the minutes yet. So there's also the link to watch it on YouTube. Any questions? Motion to approve minutes.
I second.
Awesome. Okay.
Oh, so the minutes are approved. Do I have to say that? I can't remember anything anymore. So they're
Okay.
officially approved. Go ahead.
Objection.
Oh.
Did them. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then these are the May minutes. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So we talked a lot about the track and SOLs and the 5th grade graduation. And then our big thing was that Emily was so nice to come and serve on the nominating committee and present the slate. So that was our big new business. Last meeting, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Any questions? I also linked to the YouTube, so if people want to go ahead and watch that there, if they missed it, they can do that as well. Would anyone like to motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move. I move that we approve the minutes.
Second.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Okay, great. So the minutes are all approved. Amy, do you want to show the treasurer's report?
Yep, I will. Go. All right, so this is our May, almost the end of the year. We are doing well. A couple of things for the membership. There's some money that's going to come out for final end of year membership dues to about both the State Virginia PTA as well as the Fairfax County PTA. Amazon Smile has been a big source of revenue for us this year, relatively speaking. So I hope everybody continues to use us as the beneficiary for their Smile account. If we come down here to look at, so 5th grade celebration, this is not reflected in what you see here. Well, let me go back to a lot of the donations that you see here are for the track. And I'll come back to that shortly. We're ending pretty well on track. Sorry for the pun. We're doing okay. You'll see down here that we have $16,000 in the bank. 6,745 of that is for the track. So we're not ending with $16,000 for us to spend next year. And Ken and I will be working in the coming weeks on our budget for next year that will be approved at our September meeting. And just going back to, so we've raised $6,745 for the track with 98 donations. What is not on reflected on that was our May report. We have also spent money on for this month signs for 5th grade, t-shirts for 5th grade, the time capsule to celebrate 5th grade. So for the 5th graders, the PTA had approved $1,700 for the 5th grade celebration. So we're doing yard signs for each 5th grader, t-shirt for each fifth grader. They're putting together a time capsule that'll have a couple different things in it. And on Friday, there's also going to be a pool party that the PTA is helping to facilitate. My kids are so excited. Well, my son, not my kids, are so excited for that. And I think that's it. Oh, in total for teacher appreciation, we spent $1,119. Some of that has gone to the luncheon line item, and some will be going to the teacher appreciation line item. Again, those were not reflected in the May because the expenses came through in June. So, any questions? I think I hit everything that I needed to.
All right, let's see.
Question.
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I raised my hand. Oh, I guess it doesn't work if you raise your hand. I have a question. When is the pool party?
This Friday,
At what time?
1:30 to 3:30 at North Springfield Swim Club.
Can we go? Can anyone go?
It's during
Uh,
our staff meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I can't go. Okay.
So fifth graders only and volunteering parents.
Would you
We would welcome staff
would
if they
really
could
turn
come,
me
but they have a
away?
staff meeting, so they can't come.
Hey, Amy, would you really turn me away if I showed up?
I would not. I was just saying, if a faculty member showed up, we would not turn them away in the least. Especially
The
our
kids
virtual
would
kids
love it.
would love to see you. Yeah. So we will not turn away any staff. We will turn away siblings and parents who are not volunteering.
Are you guys good with the parent volunteers? Do you guys have enough?
That would be a Christy Balbuena question. I do not know, but I assume that we could always use more volunteers. So you can reach out to Christy.
Now, there's a certain ratio that's needed from parents to children, but I don't know what that number is.
I don't either. I know the kids are really looking forward to it. For us, we at one point thought we'd have to leave early, and my son was crushed. And when we told him we don't have to leave early, he was just like elated. They get to all be together and have fun. There'll be pizza, and water and juice. And we're charging $10 per kid, but we do plan on hopefully having enough funds that if somebody can't afford to come, that they won't have to worry about it. So.
All right, great. Thank you, Amy. Do you think now is a good time to authorize the funds for next year and maybe set aside $750 for Beaver Blast Off? Does anyone want to make a motion to that effect?
I would move that we authorize up to $750 to spend over the summer for things like Beaver Blast Off, but not necessarily restricted to Beaver Blast Off.
That sounds good to me. Does anyone second the motion?
I second.
All right, thank you. Not hearing any objections.
Yes, me.
You're objecting, or are you?
Scott, it's Scott. You should probably took more than next. You're gonna have other expenses before your first meeting.
Oh, you think so? How much more do you think we should authorize? What's your suggestion?
Well, you need to reauthorize a Zoom account. Are you gonna run Zoom next year? Are you gonna you need your money minder account, insurance? So probably maybe double it.
Yeah.
Does that sound like it looks good, Amy? 1,400? Is that what doubling it would be? 1,500?
Yeah, let's see.
All right, we're gonna look at that real quick. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 1,400 would be good.
All right.
Okay. That's a friendly amendment, so we don't need to. If Amy is okay with that, then we don't need to motion.
That's fine with me.
All right. So the motion is approved. Then, not hearing any other.
We still have to. Yeah, we should still vote on that one.
Let's vote on it. Okay. All in favor of whatever we just said, $1,400 to spend before the next PTA. We're authorizing funds for the PTA to spend over the summer until everything happens later. Is everyone in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Who opposes? All right, the motion is passed.
One other thing from the treasurer perspective is we need to have a committee assigned for the annual financial review. It's not a heavy lift at all. I gave you all of my books, like Scott gave me last summer for us to do it. And we need 3 people. We need a chair and then 2 other people. So
And usually in the past, the president-elect for the next year is chairs the committee or is at least on the committee so they can see how the budget works and everything. So Jen, would you be able to do this? I think it's like, it only took me a couple hours of sitting around the table with a couple other people when I did it a few years ago.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, great. Do we have any other volunteers, or if we don't have any other volunteers right now, we can find some.
I'll volunteer.
Will you? Thank you, Scott. Do we have one more volunteer, or we can dig up that person later? Anybody else?
I can volunteer.
Thanks.
thanks, Dan.
Conflict of interest to have 2 married people on the financial.
Yes, it depends on who you ask.
All right, let's see if we can find somebody else.
If so, I can ask my husband. He's in the other room, and he is a CPA. So,
Oh, perfect.
That would
Can
be.
you do the whole thing? That's actually an option.
I mean, that's like his dream.
Oh, is it? If he wants to-
Like literally, there's an option to have a CPA do the audit. We don't have to have any committee as long as it's a CPA.
Well, he may still need a committee, but
Okay.
only because of employment things. But
Okay.
yeah, but otherwise he'll be fine.
Awesome.
All right, great. So it looks like our financial, what is the committee called? The financial
Financial
audit
review, financial review, formerly the audit, but now they call it the financial review committee.
Okay, so Amy, if you want to put down that, not Amy, I'm sorry. Well, I guess you probably need to know it too, but I meant for the minutes. So Mandy, Jen Delboy, I already forgot who the second person was.
Scott.
God.
And then Mr. Thorne. Lauren, what's your husband's name?
Alex.
Alex. And then can you get your his contact information to Amy after the meeting?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
So much. Okay, and we can reach everybody else. All right.
So can we also, because I know like Ken and we had traded some emails around, just, can we go back over the budget for, what was the number for the track that was raised?
$6,745.
45. So I guess, so I going back, and I've had a couple conversations with Vanessa and just Ken, just trying to remember what we said. Because I know when we started out with the whole thing, a lot of the, there was about $5,000 that at that point that everybody felt like we could spend. I picked up a lot of the grant stuff because that allowed for flexibility to move money for the track. And then we said, well, let's see how many other donations we can get, which, I mean, that was wonderful. I mean, I never expected that we'd get $6,700, but so I guess thinking back to that,
Chad,
so at the end of the day, I picked up the grants and PTA still hasn't put any of that budgeted money. So I guess,
well, we
is
didn't
there a way?
budgeted. So tell me how much
of that?
you're looking at. What is it that you want? And let's see what we can do.
Well,
Because can we maybe push this up to a total of $8,000 and then we'll put in.
I mean, anything. So at this point, like every piece that is donated and given is a piece of like that school money that I can continue to keep for flexibility for next year, for instructional pieces or whatever. But so it's really out of which pot are we doing? Every little penny helps. But I do know, there's some, I know Ken's got some really great ideas. I know we're looking at, how we structure, moving forward a little bit with, even donations and doing some fundraising stuff. And, and I know there's, you guys have financial needs that you definitely want to make sure you're covered for. So I think that stuff should all be in place, and none of that, I don't think, should be, dipped into below the comfort zone for everybody.
Well, if we obviously everyone here has to approve it and we have to bring it up to a vote. But if we put in another $1,255, then that will bring the total donated to the school to 8,000.
And then I would put in 12, and actually I got facilities put in $5,000
Oh, great.
on their end of it. The bid came back at about 25,000. So that was great that they held their end of the deal and said anything over 20,000 we'll pick up. So, which was great. So that would be great, because Jackie and I had originally come up with, like, we can nickel and dime out of multiple accounts up to 15,000, where we still felt like we were borderline comfortable. But if it's only 12, then that gives us a little bit of flexibility going into the fall also.
Okay, so Amy, will you check my math on that to bring the total donated from the PTA, including the donations that we,
Mhm.
Yeah, that was right, 1255.
right? So,
Yeah.
okay, can I make the motion as the president?
Typically, the chair doesn't.
Okay, so does anyone like that idea? Does someone want to make a motion to that effect? If you don't like the idea and nobody moves to do it, then we just can't do it, Chad, sorry.
I will move 1255 over to bring the total up to 8,000 for the transfer for the purposes of the track.
I'll second.
Was that Mandy?
That helps us a lot.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say no. All right, the ayes have it. The motion to give an additional $1,255 to the school for the purpose of the track has been approved.
So I'm going to tell Jackie we're going to even 8,000 from PTA. We'll pull the 12,000 out, because we'll probably have to get that to facilities probably next week if they're going to start the 21st.
Okay, that sounds great. We can write you that check.
Yep, I can write you that check this week.
And
All right, perfect. I appreciate that. That helps us a lot.
yeah, no problem. All right, so Emily, did you want to run the slate nomination election situation?
Sure thing. Yep.
All right, thank you so much. I'll do you want me to make you a co-host, or do you just want to?
No, I was just gonna read out the names basically of who we've got.
Okay.
If that works. Hi, my name's Emily Simone, and I was the nominating chair for this year's nominating committee, along with Mrs. C and Andrew Harder. And I think we have a pretty great group of people who will be serving on the PTA for the 2021-22 school year. So first off, we have Jen Del Boy, who is going to be president-elect. Jen has a rising third grader and is a full-time professional. Amy Mahoney was already treasurer last year, so she will continue in her role as treasurer. Amy has a rising fourth grader and is CEO of her household, the Mahoney household. Lauren Thorne is going to be running for secretary, and Lauren has a rising kindergartner and a first grader, and is also a full-time professional. We've also got Dan Del Boy, who will be running for membership, and Dan has a rising third grader and is a professional firefighter with Fairfax County. We have Tiffany Hahn running for fundraising VP. Tiffany has a rising kindergartner and has corporate treasurer experience as well. We also have, and please help me out with Karen's last name, someone.
Ooh,
Karen.
I know her, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
Kamileski. Karen has a rising kindergartner. She's also editor of the North Springfield Civic Association. So that is the slate for the 2021-22 PTA.
Thank you so much, Emily, for giving us all that information and presenting the slate, as you also did 30 days ago, as is required by the bylaws. And now I will turn the floor over to Ken to run the nominations.
All right. And I just want to first say thank you to Emily as well, and to Andrew and to Ms. C. I mean, you guys were phenomenal and met very, very quickly. And I know you interviewed several people, and it was very helpful having Emily and Andrew both as former VPs, or VP and secretary of the PTA, that can understand that, and also having Ms. C as a teacher. And I think you represented all the grade levels well. So thank you again for your hard work. Okay, so, and Ava, I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so I just want to
Sorry.
before we
Again, I was
sorry.
trying to say that the Del Boys also have Ava, not just a rising third grader. Sorry, that was
Olivia and Ava.
Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so in addition to the the slate that's there, are there any other nominations for the position of VP for enrichment that wish to run from the floor? Okay, hearing none, the nominations for that position are closed. Are there any nominations from the floor for the position of VP of fundraising? Hearing none, that is closed. Anybody wishing to run from the floor for the position of VP of membership? Hearing none, nominations are closed for that position. Anyone wishing to run from the floor for the position of secretary? All right, Mandy? No. Hearing none, that nominations are closed. All right, anyone who wishes to run for the position of treasurer from the floor? All right, hearing none, nominations for the treasurer are closed. And the big one, anyone wishing to run for the position of president-elect from the floor? No. All right, hearing none, the nominations for that position are closed. All right, so if there are no objections, I would ask that there is a vote of acclamation, or a motion to approve the slate of candidates as presented by acclamation.
I make a motion to approve the nomination slate.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, is there a second to that motion?
I second it.
Thank you, Scott. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Oh,
No, we're doing by acclamation, so yes, we yeah, okay, well, we'll just go through the motions then. All right, anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, so then the slate is approved. So congratulations, everybody, and I look forward to working with all of you in the upcoming year. Can I say a few remarks as well, Madam President? All right, thank you. So first, I'd like to thank Mandy, and I know that Vanessa will be thanking her as well. So I don't want to steal Vanessa's thunder there. But I do also want to say that I'm very much looking forward to working with everybody next year. It's going to be an exciting year. The theme that I've kind of thrown by or run by a couple of people that I would like for next year to focus on is called building resilient individuals through engaging collaboration. And I know it's a mouthful, so I'll put that in the chats. So there it is there. All right, building resilient individuals through engaging collaboration. And that really builds off of two different aspects of the Portrait of a Graduate framework. One is collaborator, and the other is goal-directed and resilient individual. And as we're coming out of this COVID era, the pandemic era, and getting back to, a sense of normalcy, I think, just being able to build those resilient individuals is something that I think is going to be very important in the partnership between the PTA as well as the administration and the teachers as well. and also getting the community, both the school community as well as the larger community, continue to be involved. That's where the second part of that really comes from. So more to come on that later, and I definitely want to work with the incoming board on developing the strategic plan out and the roadmap for next year a little bit more. But again, thank you all for voting the officers in, and I look forward to working with each of you in the coming year.
Don't you got to hit the gavel? Boom, done.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's next on the agenda. Do you remember, Jen or Mandy, Amy, Dan? No, Jen's there. Or Vanessa's there.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's been a really tough year. Thank you for bearing with me. I didn't have time to learn Robert's rules of whatever it's called between watching Penelope do her virtual school and having a baby and working full time. And I know everyone else has had similar things happening in their lives. So just the fact that everyone came here when they could and picked up the slack for when other people couldn't, when I couldn't. I know Ken picked up a lot of the work for me, and so did Jen Delboy. And I really appreciate Mandy. I can't imagine, she was homeschooling her 4 kids this year and had other things going on, and she was here as often as she was. Thank you. I don't think she's still around, so we'll still see her, right? Okay, and I'll still be around too. I love this school, and it was really nice to kind of see what's happening every day in the class, listening to my daughter's 2nd grade class every day while she was virtual. And it was nice to get to know Chad and Leslie a little bit more, and Miss Metz and some of the other teachers who were coming. And so just thank you for bearing with me and for coming to the meetings. And I will be in touch with Ken to make sure that I'm friends with Ken, so I'll just tell him what I think. I think there are a lot of good things that we learned this year, even though it was so weird, that we can bring forward to keep the momentum, or maybe restart some momentum. But does anybody else have anything to say before we end the last PTA meeting of the school year?
Thank you, Vanessa. You were awesome. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, PTA.
I would also just like to thank Chad and Leslie for all of your many, many presentations month after month that were return to school, return to school, return to school. This is the new plan. Oh no, next month, it's the new plan. So I appreciate you coming to all of those meetings and giving us presentations and getting us up to like 75 people coming to one meeting at one point.
Oh, I think we had 88 people.
Was it 88?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now everything's getting closer to normal, and we're back to our normal numbers. But it was really, I think that for a lot of parents, it was really reassuring to have you at the meetings and be able to ask questions and see your faces, and that was really great. So thank you.
It was, I think, just listening to the teachers, as Leslie and I have done, end of the year evaluations and kind of wrap up meetings and with folks. It was really hard. I mean, to think we actually had 5 different restart schedules and structures that in place throughout the year. Thinking back on like, how did we even get through 5? I mean, it's hard enough to do one for a regular school year, and yet we powered through it and came up with 5 different schedules every time something new came out. So it was truly a team effort. I can't say enough about all the parents. I mean, the staff, the kids have been great. Our participation rate as a school was phenomenal. It is as horrible as it could have been, and all the things that could have gone wrong. It was really, in hindsight, a pretty special year. I think as a community, it was a special year. So
Won't be showing any like what we looked like 14 months ago and what we look like now pictures, because Chad and I have aged a little bit.
we did say that. We said back, when did we say that? Maybe December. We said, man, we should have took pictures before and after, because
We can use stills from the first PTA meeting.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I just want to say thank you to everyone as well. It's been a great year. Despite all the hurdles, we've gotten through it all, and we can taste normal. We're getting there.
so, but thank you, everyone.
All right.
I think the PTA and everything, I think we got some really great positive momentum going right now. So I'm really excited about that.
Okay, well, if nobody else has anything to say, then besides Bo, then I say the meeting is adjourned officially for the last time.
Thank you all.
But I'm gonna turn off the recording now, but you don't have to leave.